Hey, how you guys doing? Hope you had a wonderful week. I had an awesome week. Jerry Bear here. Today is Sunday, October 25th, 2020, the last Sunday in the month of October already. Can you believe it? Joining me off camera is my sleeping dad on the couch. And over here on this couch, we have Amy off camera. Hello, Amy.
Hello.
How was your week, dear?
Good.
Good, so was mine. But, you know, when you got to get to the, before you can get to the good, you got to go through the bad. So there's some, and I hate to start off another
With the
Sunday
bad.
video with such bad news. What's that?
I says with the bad.
With the bad, right? I hate to start off another week with bad news, or not. It's not bad news, but it's news that I have to bring to your attention. And yes, it is about that schmuck, Tom Mitchell, on Facebook. Now, other than the shit that he's writing about me on Facebook, which I always find out surreptitiously through other people, um, I know, I know what he's writing on the Still Brave Childhood Cancer Foundation page. He actually had gone ahead and said a couple of things that I found to be a flat out fucking absurdity. And I'm going to talk about that. First of all, he accused me of justifying child rape. And he jumped on this bandwagon where I ask kids perverted questions. So I'm going to get to that right away and then I'll be done with it. You fucking ignoramus liar. First of all, if, it seems you're such a fan of my YouTube channel and watch all my videos and all you people, all you sheep are sharing my videos. If you actually listen to what the fuck I said, I was not making excuses or justifying child rape. What I specifically said was, we don't have thought crime legislation in America, which is a fucking fact. If you had any sense of what facts are, you would know that that is the case. And that's what I was stating, a fact. We don't have thought crime legislation in America. We punish the actions, not the thoughts. That's not justifying anything. I could have a desire or a thought to punch you in your face. I could have a thought or a desire, Tom, to line up all your teeth like knickknacks. But that's just a thought. The action would be what we would punish, because that's a crime. Wow. So, obviously, one of us is too stupid to understand anything, and I can guarantee you it's not me. And as far as he's jumping on this bandwagon that I ask kids if the chemo makes their pubic hair fall out, which I would never ask of anybody, especially children. So, because we know that Tom Mitchell is a fucking liar, and he demonstrates this because he likes to jump on bandwagons all the time, this is exactly why. That's evidence. If you go and look at his Facebook page, the Still Brave Childhood Cancer Foundation Facebook page, you will see exactly what he had written. This is why. Thank you, Tom, for illustrating my point. This is why I encourage you, if you're going to help the families affected by childhood cancer, you help them directly. Don't go through schmucks like this guy. Oh, and he said, I'm getting worked up and I shouldn't, but he said that he's working very closely with the Michigan State Police. Awesome. Good for you. And I'll do you one better, champ. Send them to my house. I will videotape the entire interaction. Send them to my house. And I'll videotape it and I'll put it on my YouTube channel. So everybody can see and listen to what I tell those cops. Because I'm not intimidated. I'm not afraid. So Tom Mitchell, again this week, I'll tell you, you can kindly go fuck yourself, you bald fucking liar. And all you people who genuflect to him and look up to him like he's some amazing person, he's a fucking liar. He likes to jump on bandwagons because he's got nothing else to work with. before you accuse someone of doing shit, why don't you have the evidence laid out? Why don't you have all your shit together before you go and accuse someone of doing something or saying something? Fucking jackass. But anyway, I got that off my chest. So, to talk about the week in review, because Amy said she had a good week. I had a great week. I'm going to take a sip of coffee here real quick.
He said my brother hounding me to go to my mom's, but Dad's pretty much got that covered.
Oh, okay.
Dad's hunting all day.
Yeah.
I
But-
don't see him hardly at all anymore.
Yeah, Dad likes to hunt. It's bow season. My week was pretty good. If you haven't been checking out my videos on YouTube here, I've been hanging out with friends, with family. I was at my uncle's house last night. He was babysitting his grandkids while their dad went out hunting. So I went uptown to my Uncle Tim's house and I sat and visited with him and his partner, his girlfriend. And yeah, it was a nice visit. And all the kids were there. Well, Matt's kids were there. Hunter and Nevaeh and Sammy. And yeah, Sammy, I almost said Samuel, which is his real name, but we all call him Sammy. Or Sam. And my cousin Timmy's girlfriend's daughter, Emma, was there. So we were all just kind of hanging out. I was sitting at the dining room table with the adults, and the kids were in the living room playing video games. And it was a nice visit. They would come out to the dining room area every so often to talk to me and talk to Uncle Tim and talk to his girlfriend. So it was nice. You know, it was a nice visit, nice interactions with cousins and people I haven't seen in quite some time. Then, of course, as you have most likely watched the videos, I was helping, well, actually, Reese and Adam are kids who are let me rephrase that. Let me try that again. They are kids of friends of mine. One of those friends I've known my entire life. That would be Adam's dad. Jake, I've known Jake since, like, I don't know, the very early 90s. I mean, we go back a very long time. And Reese's mom, Kelly, I've known Kelly for at least a good 4 years now, maybe 5 at the most. Very nice girl, very nice lady. She just had a baby not too long ago. Her name is Lily. When I go up there, I talk to Lily. I play with her and get her laughing and giggling. She likes it when you, I just found this out, Amy. She likes it when you, like, if you lift her up and you get her stomach like up to your face and you go like that. Mm-hmm. She loves that. She'll laugh and giggle and
Reese does it with her all the time.
yeah. Reese does a lot of things with Lily, but my week has been good. It's been great. Like I said, I spent time with family, friends. And for disclosure, because I know there's people who watch these videos, anytime I hang out with the kids, the parents know that I'm there. Like, I will either text them or I will tell them, hey, go tell your mom or go tell your dad that I'm here. They know that I'm there and they trust me. So, like I said, I've known Jake my entire life. We've known each other for years. And he trusts me around his kids. And Kelly, you know, sorry, Kelly, you're a she, not a he. She trusts me with Reese and with baby Lily. And, you know, we walked uptown. We walked up to, well, town would be that way. We went to Cole Park, which is the park. It's like when you go through the downtown area. For those of you out of Chesaning, we know where Cole Park is, but you go through the downtown area like you're heading east, and then you come up to Canal Street, where the River Rapids Library is. You hang a left, and the park is right next to the library. So we walked all that distance from the apartment complex on 4th Street over by the high school. We walked all that distance, and we went to Cole Park. Mind you, I also met a cop who was also a crossing guard for the kids at the high school and the middle school. His name is Gene, And I knew he was a crossing guard. I was introduced to Gene last week. Really nice guy. And shook his hand. We talked while he was doing his job. He went out in the middle of the street holding up the stop sign with the blinking red lights on it. And we talked for a few minutes. And but I didn't know he was also a police officer for the Chesaning Police. But he's a really nice guy. So I imagine he's just as much of a nice cop as he is a nice crossing guard. So yeah, I've had police interactions this week, just so you know. Really nice people. And there was something else I was going to mention, but it always slips my mind every time I have something to say. Oh, the fort in the woods. Adam and Reese had asked me if I would videotape or make videos of them in their forts. I guess Adam was starting another fort in the woods somewhere, but they wanted me to take video of them building their fort, collecting the logs or the branches or whatever from the trees. And so I said, sure, not a big deal. I'll upload them to my YouTube channel, and I hope you check out Reese and Adam's channels. I provided links in the descriptions of those videos, so if you get a chance, check them out. We were making some silly videos last night, playing cops and robbers kind of a thing, and some of it was on camera, not with my phone, but with their phones, and it was kind of funny. They had me pinned on the floor. I made this is how I look at it. I made cameo appearances in other people's videos, so there's that. We were in the hallway of the apartment complex next to the staircase, and we were filming like pretend make-believe scenes of cops and robbers, and Adam says, "Are you ready to die?" And I'm on the floor like this with my hands up, and I said, "No." And he click, 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 pretending like I was shot and killed or whatever. Boys will be boys. That's how that goes. It was a lot of fun. I mean, they wanted me to get involved in their little, video, so I did. But be sure to subscribe to their channels if you feel so inclined to do so. But I've rambled enough. Amy, how was your week? You said it was good?
Yeah, it was good.
Good. And mind you, I left. I'm hardly ever home now, but I like to give Dad and Amy time alone to themselves. I'm always around, and I have to try to figure out a way to build up a social life of my own, even if I'm just going places and just riding around. I like going away, and they like having their alone time, so it's a win-win for everybody. And if I'm constantly around these guys, which it hasn't happened in a long time, but Amy and I tend to bump heads sometimes, but it hasn't happened in a long time, so I'm really thankful for that. But I have my space, she has hers. When I go away, that gives Dad and Amy time to themselves, and we all come back to one another happy.
Dad ain't out in the woods right now.
Yeah, when Dad's not out in the woods, but he's asleep on the couch, so
We'll try to let him sleep.
yeah.
He always has a rough night because of the dogs.
Yeah, our dog Barkley, his arthritis is really acting up in his hind leg, and he was just whimpering yesterday. I felt so bad for the guy, but it's because of the change of the weather too.
It made me literally cry.
Yeah, Amy started crying. It's because of the change of the weather. It goes from warm to cold. We had some severe weather come through on Friday, and I guess St. Charles, they lost power because of the thunderstorm.
I was gonna say, yeah, they said there was a lot of power outages.
Yeah, Saginaw got hit hard. Owasso got hit.
We didn't get hit too hard.
It didn't really. I mean, we had thunder and lightning, and it rained like hell, and it got really windy, but it didn't. I mean, it wasn't as bad here as it was in other locations. It was actually calmer compared, to
Yeah.
other places, but it got pretty wicked. And
They were even putting warnings out about tornadoes.
well, it was not so much a tornado. It wasn't a warning, I guess. They were just saying that it was.
Or watch.
it wasn't even a tornado watch. They were just saying in the weather report, because the storms were moving so quickly and the wind gusts were like in the 70-mile-an-hour ranges, that a tornado was possible.
Oh,
That a possible tornado could have spun up. Yeah, there was no tornado watch or tornado. In fact, there was a severe thunderstorm watch, and my county, Saginaw County, was under a severe thunderstorm warning for a short time. It was Saginaw and Shiawassee, which would be Owasso, Clinton County, which would be St. John's, Gratiot County, which would be like Alma, Ithaca, St. Louis. They were under a warning.
We were up at your Uncle Tim's at that time.
And Midland County, a small sliver of Midland County, was under a warning. Bay County, Tuscola County, Genesee County, Livingston County, areas in and around Lansing. I mean, it was like a squall line of thunderstorms that came through. And it did some damage in some places. Not, like I said, not so much here. It just kind of sideswiped us, I think.
Yeah.
St. Charles and Saginaw, they got the worst of it. But then it got markedly cold after the storms came through. It was a cold front that came through. It warmed up to, I think, around 70 degrees on Friday. And then a cold front came through, and that was the triggering mechanism for the storms. But then it just cooled right off, and as you can hear, our furnace kicked on. We had, at last check, well, we don't have that now, but when Dad first checked when it started to get cold, we were at 55% propane. So I know what I'll have to be saving up for probably next month,
Yeah.
because it's starting to get cold.
I'm going to start giving more money, too, for my rent.
Mm-hmm.
That way there we can put in for light and heat.
Yeah, right. But it's been kind of it's been an interesting week, but it's been a great week, and I've had a wonderful week. I've had a wonderful time, and I hope this week is just as fun and as happy-go-lucky as the week I just had. But when I'm not visiting with family and friends, I'm usually just here at home. I'm not going anywhere. I've been catching mice in my bedroom. It's just really weird because I caught like 5 mice in 2 days.
5 or 4?
Was it 4?
I think
4 mice in 2 days.
in 2 days.
Yeah. I don't even remember, but and all with the same trap too, by the way.
We're just trying to see if we can catch more.
Yeah, it's set in my bedroom again. The trap is set. I don't know where they're coming from, but
Dad and I are thinking that back room
yeah,
off your room.
yeah,
We're thinking they're coming in there because of everything that's in there,
yeah,
and then they're coming into your room. through
yeah.
there.
Well, there is a hole in the wall I noticed, like in the corner of my room behind my dresser, and they get in my dresser too, little bastards. I hate mice. I just don't like mice. But I live in the country too, and we get those little field mice. You know, they're little dinky mice, but their tails are like 5 times as long as their bodies. And I just don't like mice at all.
We have one cat that loves them.
Yeah, one cat. We have 2 cats here, and only one cat will eat the mice. Literally, every bit of it, like tail and all. The other cat, the female cat, she's like under my desk here. She's hiding from the other cat because the other cat's a male, and this cat under my desk here, she's a female. Mommy kitty. I'm petting her right now. I can.
Even though she's been fixed, I'm sure she still goes in.
Yeah, and she's. I don't know why she's terrified of the dogs, but she is. You know. It's kind of funny in a way to watch.
You missed it last night.
Yeah.
Dad had her up on the back of the couch. Scruffy's jumping at her. Barkley's down on the couch going at her. Dad literally has to pick her up by her hindquarters to keep her away from the dog.
That's funny. That's funny.
It was enough to make you laugh. It was
But-
the best excitement. Oh, I went hunting with Dad last night.
Oh, did you? You actually went out in the woods?
No, The thing I did is I sat in the truck because Uncle Mark wasn't home.
Oh, I see.
I was going to go in and visit with Uncle Mark, but...
He wasn't home.
No, he was over at a friend's house.
Oh.
Watching them tear apart our bathroom.
Oh.
But he knew we were there because I kept in touch with him.
Yeah.
And then when we left, I called him and told him, hey, we've left, type deal.
Yeah.
So that he knew, but he can't bow hunt out there because of the fact that while you're bow hunting, you got guns going off in the area. So
yeah. And
forget that.
Shifting gears, this Wednesday, my cousin Michael turns 29. Yeah, my cousin Michael, who has spina bifida, he's been in the hospital quite a bit lately, and he doesn't know about these videos. There's a lot of people, a lot of family, lots of people out there who don't know about my channel or my videos, but I'll say it anyway for the record because I'm not going to be here Wednesday. But then again, I don't know. I've been uploading a lot of random content through the week. But I will say for the record today in the Sunday video update, Michael, happy birthday. I love you, buddy. Stay strong. I don't like hospital stays either. That they just annoy the shit out of me. I don't like hospitals. But
you don't like the food.
And the food is awful. Yeah.
He says they need to put seasonings on it.
But happy birthday. I love you. Uncle Wayne loves you. And if Uncle Wayne was awake right now, he'd tell you the same thing. He loves you, and he wishes you a happy birthday.
You, Michael.
And Amy as well says she loves you. And so, happy birthday, Mikey. 29. Wow. Michael, he's wheelchair bound, okay? And I can remember when I was a kid when Michael was actually standing, when he was actually walking on his own 2 feet. I can remember. It was years ago. But I was probably, I want to say 4 or 5 years old when Michael was born. And I was about 5 when Michael was born. But I can remember he used to actually walk. And then over time, it started to get bad. The spina bifida started to, we started to take notice. And so now he's wheelchair bound. But I tell you, he is one of the coolest kids that anybody would ever know. And I'm honored to call him my cousin. I'm honored to call him my family. But we got to keep him in our thoughts. And most assuredly, we are keeping him in our thoughts all the time. So happy birthday, Mikey. And I received some packages in the mail from a very sweet friend of mine. Her grandson had passed away from cancer. And I'll never forget it because her grandson and I actually made Happy New Year videos to one another. I recorded myself making a greeting to him, and he recorded himself making a greeting back to me. His name was Malin, and his grandmother had sent me just a bunch of books. One of those books, I told her, because she's a Christian, I'm not, and I announced that last week that I'm an atheist. But she sent me a bunch of books, like one of them is Jesus is Calling or whatever, and it's like, I don't believe in that, but I mean, if you want to send it, if it makes you feel better, then, I really wish you would just save your money, but if you feel as if you need to send it to me, I feel honored that you would think of me that way, but I don't believe that, I don't believe in that stuff. I'm not religious. I'm an atheist. And I don't have a problem saying that, But, I have a lot of religious friends and a lot of religious family members, and it's hard to ingratiate yourself in with family and friends who believe in things that you don't. And when they find out, when they discover that Jared Fuller doesn't believe in God anymore, no, I don't. And it kind of scares them. Well, do you know where you're going? And I get the general questions like, do you know where you're going when you die? No. Not like my I don't believe that my spirit leaves my body. I'm not going to survive my own death when I die. There's only this one life, and I got to make the best of this life that I know I'm going to get. You know, I can't pretend as if, well, it's no big deal what I do here. It's no big deal if I die because I'm just going to a paradise in the sky. I don't believe that. I believe that when I'm dead, and that's it. And I don't tell people how to think. I don't tell people what they should believe. I don't tell people, you know, that they're wrong or stupid or ignorant for having religious beliefs. I would never shun someone for having religious beliefs.
Never do me.
No, and Amy believes in God. I'm not sure about Dad. He
tells me that some of it he believes, but then some of it he don't.
So he's like an agnostic kind of a thing.
Yeah.
I've heard him refer to himself as an atheist many times, but I told him, I said, if you believe in some things and not others, I said, that kind of makes you, I mean, I guess an agnostic. You know? That's like saying I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But agnosticism, that's about what you know. Atheism is about belief. Like, I lack belief in a God. But I'm not saying there is no God. What I'm saying is that there's not enough evidence to substantiate the claims that a God exists, or any of the claims in the Bible. There's no evidence for any of that. So I tend not to believe fairy tales. And I know this is really hard for you guys to listen to, and if there's children in the room, you might want to, you know, but I put disclaimers at the beginning of every one of my videos, so you knew what you were getting yourself into before you even got this far into the video. Oh, Jared's doing the work of the devil. I don't even believe in the devil. I have no belief in that. You know, Bill Maher kind of said it best. He says it's like a comic book, you know. Without the arch nemesis, the story's no good. You got to have good and bad. And that's basically what it is.
I really don't understand the devil myself. But
I don't understand any of it. I used to believe that there was a God who loved me and he was watching over me and made sure I was okay. But, you know, after having gone through the things I've been through in my life, that had kind of made my faith a little rocky. And faith is the excuse that people give when they don't have a good reason, because if they had the good reason, they just give the reason and not, you know, blind, unquestioning faith that I believe because I believe. Well, that's not enough.
and the issue was I was raised a Christian.
Well, so was I. We went to church every Sunday. And then I started to question what I believed in. You know, having cancer as a child.
Yeah.
My mom and dad divorcing. And a lot of other personal issues. I questioned if this God is so loving, powerful, caring, all-knowing, all-wise, why didn't he intervene? Why did he let me go through this? And then I started to think, maybe there is a God and he just doesn't give a fuck, which I would admire that quality in people, not giving a fuck. Or there is no God at all, and the universe doesn't give a fuck. Well, the universe doesn't give a fuck either way. The universe doesn't care about me. The universe doesn't care about you. We didn't ask to be here. We're here on chance and chance alone, and when we die, that is it. That's my take. Those are my beliefs. I'm not going to a heaven. I'm not going to a paradise. When I'm dead, I'm dead. That's it. And someone even suggested that I should, Buddhism. I should go to a Buddhist temple. It's like, that's just as batshit fucking crazy as any other religion I've ever heard.
Never even heard of it.
I have. But I'm not joining Scientology. That's for damn sure. I don't like cults. I don't like organized religions. I don't like anything that's organized where groups of people, swaths of people, have to believe and behave in this one certain orthodoxy. Fuck off. I don't believe in any of that stuff. I'm my own person. I do my own thing. I believe what I believe. I don't believe in a lot of things, but I believe a lot of things when there's evidence to believe it. So, and that goes for bullshit claims on social media as well. You know, the same applies to religion. The same applies to health. The same applies to all aspects of life. Yes, I'm skeptical about a lot of things. You know, I'm open to the possibility that with evidence, if there is a God, only that God would know what it would take to convince me that he's real or that he exists. I haven't gotten that yet. And I may never get that. But I don't foist my thoughts and opinions onto people and say, well, you got to believe this. I don't thrust it onto people.
You see, that's me. I may believe, but I don't sit here and, okay,
Yeah.
you're atheist. I'm going to just push this on
Yeah.
you until you believe.
See, my mom, and I love my mother with all my heart, but she tries to criminalize my atheism. The last time I had spoken to her, she had company, and this was at the place where she's staying at now. She tried to criminalize my atheism. And she says, well, I know you're an atheist, and blah, 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 blah. Well, why do you make it sound like it's such a horrible thing? Atheism just means that I'm not convinced that a God exists. And I told her, I said, I don't appreciate the fact that you're criminalizing or making it sound like it's such a horrible thing because I have lack in the belief of a God or God of all gods. I'm atheist to all religions. I said, I wish you wouldn't make it sound like it's such a horrible thing because I have no belief in a God. But that's my mom, the Christian, who thinks that prayer should be allowed in school, that we should bring God back into schools. And to that effect, I'm definitely going to say fuck no, because the Constitution clearly states that you learn facts in school, and if you want to learn about if you want to be taught religion, and then you go to church. You don't go to school for that.
Or a Christian church.
That's why the Constitution has a thing called the separation of church and state. That's what that means. The separation of church and state. Meaning, religious teachings are to be taught in church or in a Catholic school or wherever, wherever you choose, but not in schools where facts are being taught, like science and social studies and mathematics and geometry and chemistry, all this fantastic factual shit, that people have such a hard time grasping because there's too much reality involved and it goes against what we want to believe. Physics and the solar system and all that stuff. You learn that in school. You want to learn about a talking snake and the forbidden tree of knowledge? You go to church to learn that. There's a reason it's called faith, because there's no evidence to support it. And that's enough religious talk. So I don't know what my plans are today. I don't know what my plans are for this week, other than on Friday we get our checks and I have to go pay bills on Friday. I'm going to get a oil change for my van, maybe get some new brake pads, and I might even buy a 30-pack. Who knows? I don't know. But my bills will be paid.
I might buy me a bottle to mix in with my coffee. Thanks a lot, Dad.
I haven't had a beer since my birthday back in July. It's been 3 months since I've had a beer. I forget what it tastes like.
That's Dad Fuller.
Yeah. My dad? Or Grandpa?
Grandpa Fuller.
Oh.
It's It's like, thanks a lot. You got me hooked on coffee with whiskey in it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's how my Aunt Kathy used to drink her coffee. She always added whiskey. Oh, didn't mean to bump the mic, guys. Sorry. She always added whiskey with her coffee every morning.
Well, I don't do it every morning.
My Aunt Kathy had a drinking problem, and I love and miss her to death. Miss her like crazy. She had a drinking problem. She's been gone now for about 11 years or so. She's been gone for a long time. The last time I saw my cousins, Carol and Ricky and Jimmy, was at her funeral. So it's been 11 years. I don't know where anybody is now. Well, actually I do. Ricky, he lives up in Oscoda. Carol, last I knew, she lives in Swartz Creek. And my cousin Jimmy, he lives in Florida, I think. He's got his own business. Florida or Kentucky or Tennessee or somewhere down south anyway. He's doing really good for himself. And then there's my other cousin Tony. He was killed. He was hit by a car back in 1994. 18 years old. He was walking home from work. He was drunk. And it was nighttime. And a car come along and hit him. And my Aunt Kathy, she struggled with that for the longest time. And I think that only amplified her drinking, because that was the only way she could deal with the pain of losing her child, losing her son. I loved Aunt Kathy and Uncle Bill. And I miss them both. I was having this conversation with Amy yesterday about, all of my mom's brothers and sisters are gone. Of course, she would want out when I'm in the middle of a fucking sentence. Thanks, Mama Kitty. But I was having this conversation yesterday with Dad and Amy about how my mom is the last surviving the last surviving child. My grandma had, I think, 17 children, and my mom was number 17 of 17 kids. And that's including all the stillborns that my grandma had. She had given stillbirth. But all my other aunts and uncles are gone. My grandma passed away when I was only 3 months old. She had congestive heart failure. We just lost my Uncle Rick last March. He had cancer. And my mom is the last surviving of my grandma's kids.
Excuse me, dear. More coffee?
Yeah. I use a warm-up. No creamer, though.
Okay.
I'll just drink it black. Thank you.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think about my aunts and uncles quite a bit. And the fact that my mom is the last surviving of all the kids, that it really just makes me think, like, I just can't believe it. I cannot believe it. But it's reality, and it's a reality that I have to face. It's a reality that I know that one day my parents are going to pass away. I have to accept that. And I have, because reality is such that nobody lives forever, and yada, yada, yada. I'm not ready for that. Excuse me. I'm not ready for that. I'm not ready. I'm not prepared to lose my parents. But someday it's going to happen.
You can never be prepared to lose your parents.
Amy lost her
Adopted dad.
and her real mom and her stepmom.
No. Well, yeah.
Maxine, yeah.
I was thinking my adopted mom.
No, her adopted mom is in bad shape, though. Helen is... She's having some issues with her dementia and Alzheimer's.
And her heart.
And her heart. But, losing parent, I don't know. I'm just not prepared for it. And like Amy pointed out, you're never prepared to lose your parents. It's just a reality that I'm eventually going to have to face.
And especially, the main thing is because with my adopted parents, they went way out of their way
Yeah.
to save their children
Yeah.
from being shoved around.
Yeah. Yeah. There's I know on my mom's side of the family there is a lot of alcoholism. There's a lot of alcohol abuse.
That's the
Um,
same in my biological side.
yeah. My mom's not a drinker. I mean, she used to drink beer, you know, on occasion, or she drank whiskey on occasion, not daily, not,
Like I do now.
you know, like every day. She needs it.
My brother's the
Um,
alcoholic of the family.
my Uncle Rick drank a lot. My Aunt Kathy was an alcoholic. Anna, I don't remember Anna. I mean, my Aunt Anna would drink beer, but I don't recall her drinking like every day. I don't think she was an all day every day drinker. I know she on occasion she would drink a beer, but I don't think she drank any of the heavy stuff. I don't think she drank whiskey. Or if she did, it would be on occasion, like New Year's or whatever. Um, but I don't even think my Aunt Flossie was
No, I was
an
too,
alcoholic.
I was too drunk. Oh, one time I was at Anna's house.
Yeah. I remember,
She was with Dwayne.
yeah. See, I don't know all my mom's brothers and sisters. I only knew Rick, Willie, Anna, Kathy, Flossie, and my mom had a sister named Judy. And they're all gone. And then my grandma had several stillborn, you know, kids,
Yeah,
babies.
just my mom. My mom had 13 of us,
Yeah,
and only 5 of us lived
yeah.
out of all those 13.
I mean, that's a lot of stillborns, you know, to lose. I mean, it's just crazy. I mean, my grandma, my mom's mom, she had her brothers and sisters were born in like the late 1800s, early 1900s.
Where my grandma ended up only having 2 kids.
Mm-hmm.
There was my mom and then her brother Larry.
And it's just weird. Like I read up on some of the history because my cousin Teresa was she was going into, I think it was Ancestry. She was looking at Ancestry.com, and she was getting information. She was getting records. Actually, in fact, she might have even been going to the Gratiot County Courthouse in Ithaca to get this information on my family. And a lot of, like, just reading up on some of the information, the history of my family. My grandma's dad's name was named Rollin, or Raleigh. That was my grandpa. Be my great-grandpa, actually, because, yeah, it was my mom's grandpa, so he would have been my great-grandpa. My mom has uncles that she never met because they died before she was born. A lot of them, I think, I'm trying to recall. A couple of my grandma's siblings were born in like the 1800s, like the 1880s.
No, my adopted dad and his family, I think, is pretty well gone.
My grandma, my mom's mom, she died in October of 1986. She's been gone for 34 years.
No, my uncle George, he died of cancer.
Yeah.
He had skin cancer right here on his nose.
There's so much about my family that I only find out reading information that people gather. Relatives are trying to figure out like the
Family tree.
the descendants and the family tree. You know, like we're descendants of such and such, this person, and so on and so forth.
And they can't do it.
Well, I mean, there's records of them, but you can only go back so far, you know. Because a lot of my family, like I said, my ancestors are German, Irish, Dutch, Blackfoot. I don't know. I've got like I'm a mixture. I'm a Heinz 57. I have relatives and ancestors
I
from
don't know my national.
Canadian. I have Canadian in me because I have Canadian ancestors as well. I'm an American. That's my nationality. I'm an American. I'm Caucasian. But like the family history, like my ancestry, it goes back generations, which is interesting. I think it's cool. Like I find out who my relatives are, my grandparents before me, and
But my adopted dad, I never knew he was in the Korean War.
yeah,
I mean, I knew he was in the service because he had his attire,
yeah,
and Martha stole his jacket.
like the ancestry part of it, like where my family, where my ancestors, where they originate, where they were born, what I mean, the work is really not ancestry, it's just their job title. It was a way to make money.
Yeah.
In fact, one of my uncles, I think, or was it my grandpa Raleigh, he worked in Grand Ledge, I think, for the water company way back in the day, like
Grandpa Fuller do landscape
welding.
welding.
My dad's dad, Grandpa Fuller, was a welder. So if you ever drive through downtown Saginaw and you should happen to pass by the WNEM TV5 studios, or if you work at WNEM TV5, my grandpa built that. He welded the steel for the framework for that. And if you should happen to go to like Bronner's in Frankenmuth, which is the world's largest Christmas store, by the way, my grandpa welded the steel for the framework for Bronner's.
Your dad did landscape for some doctors.
My dad did landscaping for a lot of people. Wally Bronner, the guy who founded Bronner's Christmas Wonderland. If you remember a movie called Not Without My Daughter back in the 90s, it has Sally Field in it. It was about the Mahmoody family from Owasso. My dad did landscaping for the Mahmoody family, the real Mahmoody family.
He also did landscaping for
Um,
Dr. Pelizzetti.
Yeah, but he did landscaping work for the Mahmoody family. They used to live over just right close to the hospital in Owasso. I don't know if they're still there. I don't know if they passed on. I don't know much about them other than my dad actually did landscaping work for them, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah, that it would be cool.
And then there was an actual film about that family, and Sally Field was the star of the movie, called Not Without My Daughter. I think it was released in 1991. This is why I love Google so much, because all I got to do is click on it and,
Google it.
get that information. So I'll slip on the old Four Eyes, and let's see here. Not Without My Daughter. Not Without My Daughter. It was 1991. I was correct. Not Without My Daughter. Not Without My Daughter is a 1991 American drama film based on the book of the same name, depicting the escape of American citizen Betty Mahmoody and her daughter from her abusive husband in Iran. But they lived in Owasso. Let's see. Yep, Sally Field played the role of Betty Mahmoody. Oh yeah, there's just all kinds of interesting information. This is why I love Google so much. And a little extra history about Owasso, where I was born, by the way. It's the city where I was born. If you enjoyed the movie The Polar Express with Tom Hanks, a little interesting fact about that movie, The Polar Express, the animation, the sound effects that you hear from the train in the movie, those were actually recorded at the Railroading Institute in Owasso. Almost forgot the name. The Railroading Institute in Owasso, where the 1225, that's the name of the train. Yeah, the day that marks Christmas. Imagine that, 1225. They also, that's also known as the Polar Express, like when they come to Chesaning, to Santa's Village at the Saginaw County Fairgrounds. But the sound effects you hear of the train in the movie The Polar Express, the animation with Tom Hanks, those sound effects were recorded in Owasso. See, you learn something new every day. The more you learn, actually, it's not you learn something new every day. It's you learn something old every day. It just might be new to you in that particular moment. So there you go. A lot of people didn't know that. When I talked to my friends in New York, and you like that movie Polar Express, right? The cartoon, the animation. Yeah, the kids love it. I said, well, you know, the sound effects of the train in the movie was actually recorded here in Michigan, in Owasso, where I was born. Really? That's cool. I love that. That's awesome. Yeah, it is cool. That is cool. But yes. The movie wasn't shot in Owasso because it's an animation. But the sound effects were recorded here in Owasso, or in Owasso. Not here in Owasso because we're not in Owasso. In Owasso, that way, south. But yeah, Owasso does have some history to it, just like Chesaning has some history to it. But anyway, I have run out of things to talk about officially. So I'm going to wrap this up. I know it's going to take all fucking day to upload this video to my YouTube channel. Got to edit. Got to add special little stuff to it. But Reese and Adam, if you're watching, thanks for staying awake and sitting through this. And that goes for everybody else who watches my videos on YouTube every week. I will be uploading more random content because, you know, that was actually the nature of this channel when I started it 5 years ago. I wanted to upload just a bunch of random stuff. Excuse me. And it's proven to be effective in terms of uploading just random stuff. And in addition to the Sunday video update, I will be uploading more random content. So, any final words, Amy, before I go?
Peace out. Be safe. Have a good day, everybody.
And Dad, if he were awake right now, he would say, have a good one, guys. Wear your mask. Wash your hands. I suck at imitating my father. But anyway, I'm out of here. I'm going to go live life. I'm going to go enjoy family and friends and visiting with them and hanging out with them. I hope you all have a wonderful week. I hope you keep your nose clean. I hope you stay cool, stay out of trouble. And I'll second what Dad would say if he was awake right now. Wash your hands, wear your mask, and, just keep doing what you have to do to help flatten the curve of the COVID pandemic. I don't really pay much attention to the numbers of the COVID pandemic in Michigan anymore. But what I do know is that the number seems to continually rise, and then the number goes down, then it rises. It's like a daily fluctuation, which we could expect with a pandemic. As a matter of fact, when I was at Kelly's, I think it was not yesterday, but the day before yesterday, she received a message on her phone saying that someone in Chesaning had tested positive for the COVID. Lovely. So I will be sure to watch my back and to mind my P's and Q's going out in public, and continue to wash my hands and do all that other cool macho shit, that we were taught in kindergarten. Wash your hands. And I will be here next week for another edition of the Sunday video update, and it will be the first Sunday in November, which will be, the 1st. November 1st will be the next Sunday video update. So I'll see you on November 1st. Much love to all of you. Thank you for watching. Take care, guys. Have a good week. Peace out.